What's cracking, everybody? You're back with Mr. Berger, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at my Warlock in World of Warcraft Classic. Now, I guess you consider this character, or you could consider it my main. It was my first 60. It's on PvE realm, unfortunately US East. I figured that out when it was too late already. It's on Paggle, and I've actually been playing this character and leveling it up with my girlfriend, who is in the video with us tonight. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
She's hiding over there. She's going to be off camera, but she's going to be joining us for this video, and she might pop into voice chat from time to time. So this is my Warlock. I leveled all the way as Affliction. Went pretty much a straight damage build with a little bit of lifesteal, but we're not going to look at that quite immediately. And then a little bit into Destruction as well for a little bit of extra damage. But let's go ahead and let's start by killing a few things. And then we'll go ahead and I'll explain our strategy, a little bit about what we did, how we played these characters and got them up to 60, what we're doing now, and then maybe we'll go ahead and do a little bit of AoE farming to show you how we can do that. So, first things first, we are here in Eastern Plaguelands, down at Tyr's Hand. Right now I'm sitting on about 200 gold, and I'm trying to farm up to about 250 so that I can get my materials for my Warlock Epic Mount quest. I'm on the last section of it right now. On the last little bit here, and oh, you got out your pet, huh? I should get mine out too. Yeah, I'll get my darter out. Okay, sounds good. So I'm on the last bit of that quest there, and essentially I need to save up 250 gold so that I can buy the materials for it. I could get another Warlock to do it for me, but somebody in my guild asked me if I could help them out and do it if I had the materials, and summon it for them as well, because once one Warlock has it, you could summon it for your friends or sell it for other people as well. Materials don't go away as far as I know. So I'm going to go ahead and save up my gold and do that. So right now we're at Tyr's Hand. The reason that we're here is there's some elites, so we can whack on them a little bit and do a little bit of show you guys a little bit of our damage and our strategy and everything without things dying immediately. And also it's the spot apparently where you can farm the Crusader enchant, the recipe for it. So because of that, we're gonna be trying to get the gold from doing exactly that. So we're gonna sit here for a little bit, farm a few things, and just kind of show you guys what we're doing. So generally, I'll start the pull. I have increased range on a few of my skills, including the destruction spells because of the spec that I went. And I'll usually just dot them up. I'm gonna try to pull this guy out because he's got long range. My pet goes in for the aggro a little bit, and at this point we can just kind of blow him up. He's gonna sleep someone, probably the pet. See if you can get a counter spell off when he's casting that arcane bolt. He spams it, so pretty much if you just use it. Oh, it looks like it was right in between. Yeah. That's unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. He does a bit of damage.
30 seconds, I'll have it again.
Okay, cool. And since Clarissa's a mage, then she can make us food and water. I'm used to farming this character solo now, but I leveled them up. I leveled it up with her all the way. So I had water and food all the time, and then when I was farming solo, I kind of forgot and running around without any, so it's nice to have it again. So you can see it's a nice little source of gold there. Generally, I don't have to open with Immolate. Honestly, you don't really have to use Immolate when you're this far into Affliction, but because of the spec that I went, because it's just a little bit of extra damage, and it has a cast time, it puts an extra dot on them. I like using it. Alright, we gotta watch out for those guys back there. So come this way, because they're gonna come down that path. And looks like we're out of range. Since it's an elite, it's going to chase us a long ways. And another benefit of this duo here is she's got all these slows, right? Because she's playing a frost mage. So if we're going up against like melee units, she can keep them slowed. And I do a ton of damage with my dots, and I can get aggro with my pet. And I generally tend to just draw aggro anyway when we're playing together. So in the meantime, I can be kind of kiting them around. And she can freeze them and, AoE freeze them if we have multiple. I've got Fear and she's got Sheep. So this is a really powerful duo to level up together. I'm sure that it would work just as well with, like, say, a Destruction Warlock. It might be fun to go like Destro on Fire even. But this little combo right here, the Affliction Warlock and Frost Mage, seems to work like a charm. It's almost like a classic Spell Cleave, kind of nice with Counterspell. Like a Spell Cleave in retail, or like a Shadow Cleave almost, with the Warlock, and maybe put a Shadow Priest in there, and it would be great. I'm just gonna roll need on this stuff for now, just because I'm taking everything to sell it. We generally just pool our stuff together since we've been playing together for the most part, and she doesn't like dealing with the auction house, so I'll usually just take everything, sell it on the auction house, and then if she needs money for, say, like her mount or whatever, then we'll pool it together again. Alright, let's see if we can pull this one guy. You can see there's other people in here farming as well, trying to get that Crusader enchant. Alright, I'm gonna pull him back. Gotta bring my pet over. I don't want my pet running over. Man, you guys can probably really hear the clacking on my mechanical keyboard right now, huh? Alright, I'm gonna try to line of sight him. Alright, he's far enough out. Yeah, and he's slowed and he's line of sighted, and so it's, I don't know, it's pretty hilarious. Alright, I want that soul shard. There we go. Okay, cool. Alright, let's kill a few more things, and then we're gonna go head over to probably like Fellwood or something, kill some furbolgs, because I'm trying to farm the rep there a little bit as well. See, that's this down here. And then that way we'll get a better chance to see kind of the AoE farming. Alright, let's heal up real quick here. There's a herb up there I could grab. So yeah, generally since we're healing, rotation wise, like I said, I'll open with Immolate. If not, I'll just slap a Curse of Agony or Siphon Life on them first, because that's the longest dot. Maybe I'll open with Shadow Bolt, but not always. Then I'll pretty much just put the dots on them. I prioritize Corruption, Curse of Agony if it's something that lives a long time. If they don't live a long time, it's going to die instantly. You might not need to use the Curse of Agony or the Siphon Life. You can just do Corruption and Shadow Bolt. That's definitely an option. I went into the spec to get Shadow Burn too, to kind of instantly just do a bunch of damage. So the Shadow Bolt plus a second instant Shadow Bolt from the talent proc down here, that one, Nightfall. And then followed up by a Shadow Burn, you get a big burst of shadow damage. And that's pretty much it. You got Lifesteal to regain life. You got Life Tap to turn that life into mana so you can stay up all the time. You got Fear for your CC. You got a little bit AoE, you got an AoE Fear, you got Mana Steal, which you use sometimes. Dark Pact, of course, because we're full Affliction for a little bit of mana regen. But let's go ahead and let's continue fighting these guys. Go and sheep that whenever you're ready. And let's get this one here. Alright, awesome. This thing's gonna drop real quick. And you can see I'm not taking any damage because of the freeze, so I'll just go ahead and keep casting, just keep free casting. Oh, watch your health. Okay, you're good.
You noticed it got so low.
Yeah, these guys are elite, so they do a lot of damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my pet a second to establish aggro. Just don't do any damage for a second here so that you don't get too much aggro. Now that he's up, get some distance, and then you can open fire. Get this like further away so that if he does switch to you, he's not gonna run right to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, since he's close to me, I'm gonna go ahead and use what is it called? Death Coil. Thank you. Traditional Death Coil. Don't Death Knights have a Death Coil as well? Or I thought they did in retail. I remember when that came out, I was like, wait, it's the first time I've seen two classes have a skill that's like called the same thing. But I guess it's Warlock Death Coil and Death Knight Death Coil. And I think they might have changed the name in retail. I don't know, man. It's been like a couple years since I played that. Alright, let's get this next group here. And am I good on buffs? I think so. You want to give my pet? Oh, he's buffed already. We're good.
Yep.
Alright, let's sheep the cleric this time and we'll kill the other one, okay? Whenever you're ready. Oops.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Wrong one.
No, we'll
They
just
were, like, right in front of each other.
Yeah, it's fine. You can use tab to switch in between,
Yeah.
and then look for the little marker above the actual portrait up there,
Yeah.
and make sure that that matches up to your target. There we go. Oh, I didn't get the shard there. Alright. Give me a second here to get aggro, and then go for it. That's fine, we can kill him still easily. With the two of us, it's really easy. I've been trying to solo this, and it hasn't been going so well, but with two people, it's definitely a lot easier. Alright, let's kill a few more, and then we'll get out of here. We can take this one easily. It's just solo, and there's two of us. They're weak enough for us to take him out without being full. But yeah, when we have a group, for sure, we want to top off, because that could go south quickly. Oh, I didn't get it in time. Alright, awesome. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Why don't you go ahead and Is your Hearthstone still set to Everlook?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and hearth back to Everlook, and then we're going to fly over to Felwood. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go over my talents. And when we're in Felwood, we're going to go ahead and farm some furbolgs. Furbolgs.
Furbies.
Alright. Let's go ahead and summon the Fell Steed for me, and for her, she's going to get her... What kind of horse did you get? The Pinto horse. Pinto. Alright, here in Everlook. I like Everlook. I like Winter Spring. It's really pretty. I lost my what?
Your moon icon.
Oh yeah, because I was marking the
No,
opponents with moon. I should have used something else. I forgot about that.
that's fine.
Alright, we'll go to Flight Master here. And probably not the best time to farm this, but I'm just going to take this time to talk about the talents and stuff. So let's fly out to Talon Branch Glade, Felwood, kind of southwest of us. Alright. Oh, and my favorite thing to do... Oh, she's too far away. But when she's downwind of me on the Griffins, I always fart.
You fart all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're flying or not.
Yeah, that's true. We love the emotes in this game. It's so descriptive. You brush up against her
You
and
can
fart
still do
loudly.
it.
I did it, but
Oh,
you're too
okay.
far away, so your character
Yeah.
didn't see it on your screen.
Don't get the benefit of it.
So anyway, about those talents. So anyway, yeah, really quickly, rotation, like I said, it's pretty much just throw your dots on them, and then you can spam Shadow Bolt. Alternatively, you can just use Shadow Bolt. Try to get the Drain Soul on them at the end for the Soul Shard. Curse of Doom I got really recently. I think that's like the level 60 skill or something. And that you can use like in dungeons or if you're fighting multiple elites, but generally you don't use that too much. Curse of Tongues is good if you're going up against casters. You've got Hellfire and Rain of Fire for AoE. Banish is another crowd control, but you can only use it on demons and elementals, so it doesn't work too often. You can toss the Soul Shard into Soulfire. That does good damage if you're going to this build as well. And then, of course, an Amplify Curse is straightforward, and you got your other curses. I don't use them too much. I know that, is this the one? Yeah, reducing Shadow and Arcane Resistance. I know that can be really good for Warlocks because it increases your Shadow damage, but I personally just go for Curse of Agony. So, talent-wise, the reason that I built it like this is because we were leveling these characters up, and it is slightly more damage-oriented with a little bit of survivability. It's not super put into one category like straight DPS or straight PvP because it was more of a leveling slash max level build in a sense. So I'll explain what I mean when I go along. So these two are just really great, okay? Reduces the chance they'll resist your affliction spells. That basically increases your spell hit chance. That's just really good to have, especially later on when you've got extra talent points to dump. I recommend it. But I would first put points in this because it makes your corruption instant cast. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put you on follow for a second here. And just lead us north, kind of towards that Felpaw village, just up towards the road, and we'll chill there for a minute, okay? Alright, next thing is Improved Drain Soul. I like Improved Drain Soul because... Oh, I fell down.
Oh no.
Alright, I'll just walk it. I like Improved Drain Soul because it gives you more mana regen. And you're going to be using Drain Soul a lot anyway, especially if you later go on into Destruction and get Shadow Burn. You're going to be using a lot of Soul Shards. So definitely get that. Improve Life Tap. I mean, I use Life Tap a lot to regain mana, so I got points into that as well. The Improved Drain Life, not really necessary for this build, but again, because we were leveling and I was using it a lot, then I got that. But you could definitely skip that one or switch it out for something else if you're going a little bit more damage oriented. Damage to my Curse of Agony because I use that a lot. Some people skip out on that, but I like Curse of Agony, so I put it in there. I didn't get this one because we have my pet and we have all of her slows and stuns and freezes and stuff. So it's rare that an enemy is actually hitting me while I'm casting. So I just decided not to put points into that. I do like Amplify Curse just for the increased Curse of Agony when we're killing an elite or a boss or something like that. It does give me a nice little DPS buff. Nightfall is pretty straightforward. Gives you an instant Shadow Bolt, which is just really good. Especially when you're going down into Destruction some, you got the increased crit chance. I'm kind of thinking I should have put one more point in that and one less point elsewhere, but I can adjust that at some point. I hadn't realized there's only 4 points in that, but that's for another day. So that's really good there, because it is technically a destruction spell. If you go in your spell book and you go to the destruction, Shadow Bolt is in destruction, so it does increase the crit chance when you get this ability or this talent right here. This one reduces the casting time of your Shadow Bolt too. But let's move on through Affliction a little bit more. This one increases the range. That's pretty straightforward. I didn't get improved Drain Mana because I don't use Drain Mana a lot with this build. I did not get Curse of Exhaustion. I think you probably know the answer because I'm playing with the Frost Mage. I don't need a slow. She's got like 50 million slows and freezes all the time anyway. So what would be the point of me putting 5 extra points into another slow that I'm basically never going to use and is going to be overshadowed by her stronger slows anyway, right? I can use the curses for more damage, for Curse of Agony, or for, you know, Curse of Tongues to make them cast slower. Siphon Life, I mean, why not, right? It's extra dot, it gives you more heals, it's good for leveling, blah blah blah, it's a great skill. This one doesn't need to be explained, increases shadow damage. And then Dark Pact for more mana. So I went straight Affliction all the way, and I explained essentially why I skipped those that I did. And then I tried Demonology for a little bit, like the increased stamina was pretty nice, and then increased Void Walker, and then I started going down a little bit further, and you could get down to Master Summoner even, or a couple points in that, but I didn't like that as much and decided I wanted to go Destruction for the straight damage. What I was really going for was Shadow Burn. So once I got Shadow Burn, I decided, okay, we'll just stick with this build, and I hit 60 and I just kind of stuck with it. But essentially this one, when you Shadow Bolt crit and you get a lot of Shadow Bolts because of the instant cast, and you will be casting it, it increases the damage dealt, right? Is that what it says? Increase shadow damage dealt to the target by 20%. Yeah, until 4 non-periodical damage sources are applied, which means non-dots essentially is what my understanding is. It lasts up to 12 seconds, so makes you do more shadow damage, and you are very, very shadow damage oriented. Reduces the casting time of your Shadow Bolt and Immolate spells. Well, that's straightforward. That's one of the reasons I use Immolate, because of this talent that I got points into right there, so it makes it a really fast cast time, but you don't necessarily have to use it with this build, because it is fire damage and you're a little bit more shadow damage oriented. But hey, it's an extra dot, it does more damage over time while you're casting everything else, and you can use it as your opener, so that's the reason that I do still keep it in my rotation. This one's straightforward, increases the critical chance, so I don't really need to explain that. Shadow Burn, well, it's just a good shadow damage burst skill, and you are very shadow damage oriented, so you got all these dots, and then you got your burst from your Shadow Bolt. And as I mentioned, you can be casting a Shadow Bolt and then have the dot while it's being, or excuse me, the proc while it's being casted from Nightfall. And essentially, once that Shadow Bolt is released, you can instantly cast another one and follow up with a Shadow Burn, which is 3 big burst damage spells, 2 Shadow Bolts and a Shadow Burn all at once. You can also open alternatively with Soulfire instead of Immolate if you want to put the extra shard into that. Just keep in mind that Soulfire and Shadow Burn do use a shard. Shadow Burn does give you a shard on return if you kill the target within 4 seconds, but that does not stack with your Drained Soul. So if you Shadow Burn, I have 10 shards. If I Shadow Burn them, it'll bring it down to 9, and I kill it within 4 seconds, it'll bring it up to 10. If I Shadow Burn him and Drain Soul him and kill him within 4 seconds, it'll still only bring it up to 10. I will get the buff, as far as I know, from the improved Drain Soul, but you're not going to be getting 11 shards. You're not going to be getting 2 shards from that. It's only going to count as 1. So if you want to be actually gaining shards, you need to Drain Soul without having put Shadow Burn on them. Alright, so that is pretty much the explanation for the talents. So, let's see, really quickly, I'm going to go through my my gear here. Now, keep in mind, this character was just recently hit 60, not too long ago, so I don't have that great of gear. I haven't really done many, if any, raids yet. My guild has run us through a few dungeons, so that's been kind of nice. So I do have 5 pieces of Dread Mist, and I just decided, you know, it's classic, I got it. I mean, I really like the look. This is a really classic helm. I mean, don't you recognize that helm? That's the heirloom helm. So it's pretty cool to have the actual version of it. Alright, this one increases shadow damage, so you can see it's very shadow damage oriented. I need to replace those, but it's got good intellect. We're going mostly for like intellect overall, maybe a little bit of spirit and stamina. Stamina is good because it gives you more life for a more life tap. This is pretty straightforward, right? Intellect. This one, I want to get the Dread Mist robes, but 37 shadow spell damage is really good for what I'm doing. So that's 2 things that have shadow spell damage already. Dread Mist bracers, Dread Mist wraps, Dread Mist belt, Dread Mist leggings, Dread Mist... Oh, Devout sandals. I need to get the Dread Mist sandals, excuse me, and get those soon. And then I just got a couple generic rings. I need to replace these because they're kind of crappy. But 12 intellect, that's not bad. This is because we were up there in the Plaguelands. I can actually switch that back out for Aranicus' Essence for now. I just don't really have a good trinket yet. That's one of my worst slots right now. Alternatively, I'm just using the carrot on the stick. Soul Harvester is just a Warlock ability, or Warlock quest item. 16 stamina, which is good for life tap. Improves crit chance. Improves hit chance with spells by 2% or 1, and also gives you a little bit more shadow spell damage. So again, something that I could replace, but it's good for the time being. This is decent. Arcane resistance isn't that great, but it was just like a decent wand that dropped. That was an upgrade for me. I mean, it only requires level 45, so I could definitely replace that too. So I still have a lot of work to do as far as the gear goes on this character, and probably by the time you're seeing this video, my gear will be a little bit better, but that is where we are at now. Alright, now that I'm done blathering, you ready to kill a few more things?
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to run over to the Furbolg camp, and there's more than likely going to be other people farming here. I already see a few. We're just going to set up. I'm going to get my, what is it called? My Voidwalker out. You still have a Health Stone, yeah? So this might not be the best place to show this because we might not be able to aggro too many. But essentially, we can... Oh, see, she's going to go in and get them probably, unless she's just running through. Essentially, we can aggro up a bunch of them and then just AoE them down. As a mage, Clarissa has a lot of AoE damage, and if you're really good and confident, you can totally AoE farm as just a Frost Mage. You basically Frost Nova, Cone of Cold, keep them all slowed after aggroing a bunch, and then you just run away and spam Arcane Explosion and rinse and repeat, essentially. But it does take a bit of practice, and you can't mess up, and if they resist, you're dead, and it gets monotonous and boring. But when we're playing with the two of us together, sometimes I'd run in and aggro a bunch, and then we do a big AoE. Alright, you ready?
Yes.
So this is the plan. I'm going to run around, I'm going to aggro like 3 or 4, and then we'll just do the usual. I'll round them up, you freeze them, I'll dot them up, and in the meantime they'll be dying. So here's 2, here's 3, here's 4. That's good enough just to kind of get the idea. Bring them on over to this guy. Alright, go for it. Freeze him. Alright, and then we're just going to start tossing the dots on each of them. And there's a free Shadow Bolt. And then at this point, oops, wrong one. At this point, I mean, I don't really need to put the dots on them. I'd probably be better off just Shadow Bolting them or something because they die pretty quickly. Turn around and blink, get some distance. There you go. Yeah, see what I mean? They're frozen, they can't get to her. They're dotted up from me, they're AoE'd from her. I know these guys are lower levels, so obviously they died quicker than usual, but you can see it was quick, they didn't do much damage to us, so it's pretty straightforward and easy to do that. Gets my Timber my whole reputation up a little bit. I'm trying to get that up. I think there's a transmute, like a 1 alchemy recipe or something that I can get from them. And I do have 300 alchemy, 300 cooking, working on getting that first aid up. Just got to go get that last bit of training there. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this character. It's kind of been my main. And Clarissa and I had a lot of fun leveling up. Oh, you got a buddy. Let's get him. Yeah, he did. And I know that she played a mage before in retail, too. She's played a lot of classes with me. I've played literally every spec at every class ever in retail. But I got her into retail a few years back, I think back in Warlords of Draenor. And I think Mage was one of the... I know Ro was your first character, but Mage was like one of the first that you got the high level, right?
Yeah, that was always my favorite. But yeah, that was one of the first ones.
Yeah, okay.
I spent most time on.
Right. So, she wanted to do a Mage again. Right now we're leveling... She's leveling a Ret Pally, and I'm doing a Rogue. Let's get this guy. And that's going well. It's pretty fun, because we do so much melee damage, and she's got like the Blessing of Might, and we just run up and blow stuff up instantly. It's pretty great. But the playstyle of this deadly duo here is a little bit different. We got a lot of spells. We got a lot of AoE. We have a lot of damage over time. A lot of crowd control. You know, she can sheep one, and I can fear one. And if it's like an undead or demon or whatever, there's demon or elemental, I can banish one too. Plus, I got the death coil. I got the AoE fear, which is... I forgot about that. That comes really in handy when we're AoE farming, because she'll freeze them all, and then I'll AoE fear them all, and then they're basically stunned because they're feared, but then they're frozen in place. So it's really effective. All right, ready? Oh man, these guys are gonna get him. He's probably gonna try to pull one or two. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Go for it. They're gonna get mad. It's fine, the respawn rates are fast. Alright. That wasn't as effective because I was just trying to jump on them. I didn't really round them up.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, she was able to AoE the two down over there. And then my dot pretty much got that one over there. Alright. No, I was expecting like an angry whisper or something, but I mean they were standing there for a while, so
yeah.
I was like, alright, we can take him. Free game. Such is the farm life. I think they're lower level, they're just yeah, see he's only 54. They're just doing their quests or whatever. So they probably wouldn't have been able to take that whole camp. But yeah, this place is usually very competitive. There's usually a lot of people running around here trying to pull everything as quickly as possible, farming that Winterfall rep or whatever it's called, Timbermaw Hold rep. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I went over the basic rotation, I explained how we level together, I talked about the realm. We've joined a few different guilds at the moment. We're just in this guild with a couple people who were really nice to us and invited us in, and so we kind of tagged along. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So why don't we go ahead and call it a video. Let's get to a safe spot here. Got some more feathers.
There's a wolf right there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They're a little bit lower level, so it should be fine. Ah! There we go. Okay, this looks like a good spot. Okay, are we gonna do like a cool pose?
Sure.
What should we do to end off the video? Start casting your blizzard right on top of us.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go! Epic closing of the video! Thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. All that stereotypical YouTube stuff, you know the deal. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good night.